I think it's really important to realize that learning happens always and everywhere. And some of the things our kids might know that won't necessarily come out in a classroom, I think those are just gems for young teachers just starting out too.
The Faculty of Education has grown immensely in the last 10 years in terms of how we look at teaching and education. But there is still the kind of education that happens in an environment like Art City and like other community organizations. Our Beyond Schools placement students have a chance to come into an environment that is in a lot of ways very different than the classroom.
You can get so wrapped up in your own coursework during the school year, and it's really hard to really get out there. This gave me an opportunity to not only learn, but actually dedicate some time to some really wonderful organization.
Katie was great. Katie got to build crazy floats. She got to drive around in the Art City van. We bought supplies. We made snack. We programmed the snack. Did we go to Harvest? We went to Winnipeg Harvest.
You know, I think right now there's a big push for getting kids outside and understanding that learning doesn't have to happen within four walls.
A place like Fort White supports children's learning. It kind of gives them the hands-on experience. So it's more different from in the classroom where they're just writing and reading. But here they can actually see like what kind of animals are in danger. They can actually see a visual effect. But I think they would have they can retain the memory more.
You know, it's always great for us to have the teacher side of things. You know, we are all very environmentally based, we are interpreters, but nobody on our staff is actually a formal teacher. So it was great to kind of get feedback from a teacher, someone who would come in and really get immersed into our programs. With each of the programs we do evaluations, so we get teacher feedback, but having that teacher insight to kind of look at things, and she was very much involved in developing some of our new high school programs as well.
The students involved in Beyond Classroom experience, they get a very diverse experience, and they're able to think about education in a non-traditional way. And they're able to learn that teaching and learning doesn't just happen in a formalized classroom setting, and that it can happen in multiple and various settings. And they also learn about the diversity that is in our city, and what the special needs are that each of those diverse groups need in order for their kids to be successful, and for them and their communities to be successful in education and in life in general.
I think what I learned about kids was that every kid wants to have fun, and not all of them show it the same way, and they're not always so used to people coming in to help them out. And I think just getting to know the kids, I felt like they open up a lot more, just like they would in like a classroom. You know, like you work with kids for like a week or two, they kind of open up to you, and I felt like a lot of the kids did that.
Pretty much in the last week, we did a lot. We did daily activities with the kids, and they always seemed to like it. They were really into it, and they got really excited. You know, they started to come in every day and were asking what we're going to do today, and that was the most exciting part, I think, about working with the kids, was seeing how excited they were to see us the next day and wondering what we were going to do.
I think it was the last class. We hadn't scheduled kids, but I remember the two of them were here, and they just sat on the floor waiting for us to get our act together. And we opened the doors, and the kids just came in and just hung around them. And I thought, wow, really strong relationships have been built here. It wasn't planned, it didn't say there was a session, but they recognized them. And those are good things, those links.
I think for me, thinking about the Beyond Classrooms course, it's been really neat, and it's been really refreshing to see that universities are understanding, and the University of Manitoba specifically is understanding that education doesn't just happen in a school setting, and thinking that there is this whole realm of experience out there, and organizations out there that are working with youth in this way, in a new way, and providing students with that ability, I think is going to be valuable for their future.
I'm just so excited that something like the Beyond Classrooms course exists as an option for people studying education. I wish it was mandatory.
What would I tell other students who are interested in this course? I tell them to do it. Just sign up. You won't regret it.
I wanted to participate in this course because I wanted to get a good feel of other environments in teaching. So I thought it would give me a good experience.
I had done my first year of ed, and I was in the classroom, and I really wanted to do something along the lines of like an after-school program, and this was the perfect opportunity for that.
I really wanted to participate in this course because I wanted as much experience as I could in actual like practicum settings, and I really liked the idea that this was in a non-traditional school setting. That really appealed to me in terms of seeing what kids do outside of school.
I was teaching the ecology unit for grade 7, and they were all like the grade 7 boys, and I was like, oh my goodness, I think I'm gonna have a hard time with them. So like while I was taking them around Fort White, they were just, they're kind of like joking around. I was like, oh my god, they're not getting what I'm saying. But then at the end, when we always asked them like questions of what they learned, all the boys were like, oh, Jocelyn was great, we learned this, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh my goodness, they did learn, they did learn something. So that was pretty amazing.
I think it just widens your soul and your mind, and allows so many different other possibilities to enter, so that you're not so focused on being teacher as much as being companion, being mentor, being in a mutual relationship. It just really blows all that apart.